Hey guys, and welcome back to That LP Show. The name of the game is Sonic Lost World. Last time, we finished up Frozen Factory and took Xena down a peg, and today we will be moving on to Silent Forest. How can you be watching scenes from the game when the game's not done? That's some Spaceballs level stuff.
Yes, he would make a powerful slave. Eggman taught us how to make robots.
Well, he taught you how to stuff small animals into robots. Play Five Nights at Freddy's, you'll find out how to do that to an entire human being.
Yourself, given time.
Something Sonic is running out of.
You ended that sentence with a preposition, bastard! Okay, welcome to Silent Forest Zone 1. I've heard some people say that Silent Forest is one of the more boring worlds in Sonic Lost World, and to that I say, what? Different strokes for different folks, I guess. Anyway, this first ring can be a little bit tricky. You wanna time switching over to that rail before getting hit by that chicken, and you want to make sure that you hit the middle speed boosters right there so you can actually get that red ring, because if you hit one of the other ones, it's just going to send you into like an auto run sequence, and then you'll skip past it and you'll have to start the stage over again. And here we have what I can only equate to Robo-Skulltulas. Just the way they hang down kind of remind me of the big Skulltulas. At least they're incarnations in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. But, well, there you go. You break all of them in order to free those butterflies, and then you can move on with that flower. Make sure you kick them. Don't do a regular homing attack. You have to kick them. And these flowers here, we want to get them to unravel. You want to be in ball form when you jump on them in order to expose them. Of course, you want to go after that red one right there, so you can get the red ring inside one of them. Well, not in one of them, but there's a invisible spring. Oh, come on. There's an invisible spring in that second red flower, and that is actually a part of the level design in Sonic Lost World that I don't particularly care for, the invisible springs, because you could be looking at an area from a distance and you think, okay, well, I can't really jump off of there, I can't do anything with that, but, you know, you don't know that there's an invisible spring that will just auto-launch you to where you need to be, so, you know, you ignore it, or you try to, you know, jump over it, and you end up jumping too early, or sometimes, like in, you know, my case, where sometimes the spring will come out of nowhere and it'll startle you. Anyway, with this second set of Skulltula bots, whoa, I don't want to hit those speed boosters. Okay, yeah, I want to come over here. With that second set of Skulltula bots, that's what I'm going to call them because I can't remember their actual name. You want to wait for them to quit spinning before you kick them, or else you'll take damage. Of course, you want to take your time right here, guiding yourself through these lasers while kicking this bell, or, you know, by all means, just rush. I'm not good enough to rush. That's why I don't play Sonic Rush. Well, that, and I don't particularly care for that one. As far as like games that involve rush mechanics, I like the DS version of Sonic Colors a little better, and definitely jump over that speed booster right there so you can get this red ring. Otherwise, it'll just launch you straight forward, and it'll be really hard to jump over to the next rail in order to get that. So there you go, Silent Forest Zone 1. I actually really like it. I don't know what people are talking about with it being, you know, boring. Especially the next stage. I love the next stage.
Not right.
Huh. Must have missed this one.
Sonic, it's a trap!
No Admiral Akbar reference here. It's too obvious.
Those rotten, sneaky...
Ragga-fragga monkey-fighting glass-ball mother-scratchers! I'm sorry, I should be taking this somber scene more seriously, but it's a Sonic game.
Supposed to be the fastest, but I was too slow to save my buddy.
Yeah, in fact, Tails was faster than you in that case because he managed to jump in front of you in time. Well, looks like Tails is out of the picture. Which means any of these circus tents that use two characters, which previously used Sonic and Tails, will now use Sonic and Cubot. He traded one yellow sidekick for another. Anyway, just wanted to grab that extra life real quick. I recommend you always do that when you can. Oh, here we go.
Sigh.
Why did he say sigh instead of actually sighing? Oh, hold on. I love this part with Sonic.
You with Tails. What? Seriously? We captured you. You wish. You grabbed my
Oh,
friend
he gets
and I wanted
right
to
up in his face, pointing fingers and everything.
Lamer and lamer. Whatever. I gotta go tell the others the bad news. Giving bad news is actually the one thing I enjoy. I'll deal with you later, loser.
I love these scenes with Sonic after Tails gets kidnapped. He's just pissed. He was ready to kick that Zeddy's ass. By the way, that Zeddy is Zor, and yeah, he's emo. There's no two ways about it. He's totally emo. He probably likes old school Nintendo and everything.
Does it really matter in the cosmic scheme of things?
No, I guess it doesn't, Zeddy Eeyore. I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't really take into the whole emo subculture thing, obviously. But, yeah, Zor's probably one of my... yeah, you know what? He's my favorite of the Zeddy. He has some of the best dialogue of the entire, you know, Deadly Six. You know, because it's like a lot of the emos that I see where, you know, they otherwise, you know, they have a decent life, I guess. They're not really depressed. It's just for reasons they want to walk around acting like nothing means anything and wah and stuff because Dashboard Confessionals told me I should. Anyway, brand new Wisp right here. This is Magenta Rhythm, and well, you tap on these music notes with the touchscreen. When you tap on a music note, then Rhythm Sonic will just float toward it. Now, it is kinda lame, yes, but it has a few uses here in this stage. And speaking of this stage, holy shit, it's Slicers. They return, but you can just kick them out of the way. They're nowhere near as bad as they were in Sonic 2. But, yeah, the Rhythm Wisp has a few uses in the stage, and this stage is so cool. I love this stage. Now, it's probably hard to notice during your first run through, but the entirety of this course is in a spiral pattern, and it just keeps going around and around and around and closing in toward the center. You see that big Albot, you know, in the background? Yeah, that's actually in the center of all this, and we're spiraling around and getting closer and closer. So you'll see that, you know, growing and drawing in because we're pretty much going in a big circle. Oh, don't... Okay, cool. I don't want to kill that thing. There we go. All right. Yeah, this one can be a little tricky if you don't jump at just the right time. Yeah, you see that platform back there with the other thin platform with the trees above it? We will be there eventually because we're spiraling inward. I love spirals, just like I love all the spiral races. Just who the hell do you think I am? The reputation of Team Sonic is known far and wide, and when they talk about its badass leader, they're talking about me, the Great Sonic. And my yellow drill wisp is the drill wisp that will pierce the heavens. And it might be a little hard to tell, but that loop-de-loop that we just passed up, that's not just part of the background. You can actually, you know, jump on that and do a spin dash or run around and then jump at the last moment to make it over here. You don't need to use the Rhythm Wisp. It's entirely optional, as are most of them. And here comes the stealth portion of this stage. Let's just hide from this spotlight, because if it gets you, then bats will come down and grab Sonic, and he doesn't even bother fighting. They're not even real robot bats, to my knowledge. But here's one cool thing about the Rhythm Wisp. Yeah, look, the spotlight was shined directly on Sonic, but because he's in Wisp form, not Hedgehog form, it doesn't recognize him, so it just completely ignores him. So you're immune to that spotlight in Wisp form. Which is odd that he's immune to the spotlight in Wisp form, but he's not immune to it in the much more powerful form that he gets later on. I won't spoil anything, but hint hint, we're collecting Chaos Emeralds, and if you've played a Sonic game before, you might know what they do. Unless you've only ever played Sonic the Hedgehog 1, then you think what they do is make flowers grow.
Happiness, success. Wait a minute, what am I still doing here?
Oh, Zor, let me tell you a little bit of a story. When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. He said, "Son, when you grow up, will you be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned?"
Suppose we're gonna have
It's the only My Chemical Romance song that I like. It's the only one that I know. I'm pretty sure they have other good ones, but that's the one that was played out on the radio when I was driving to work, so, you know. It grew on me, I guess. Anyway, this fight with Zor is, like all of the other Zeddy fights, pretty easy, except it's drawn out enough to where I actually have time to explain it. He sends out these balls that circle around, or what the hell are they? Some kind of fruit? Some kind of metal ball? I don't know. But you kick them, keyword, kick them, and that'll knock Zor off of his owl, and then you go in for a homing attack, and you know, he has 3 phases to this, so you can't just charge up a homing attack and clear him in 1 cycle. You have to do it in 3 cycles. And, well, there you go.
we're all doomed anyway.
Some sooner than others, Zor. Some sooner than others. So, there you go. People give this stage too much shit. I love that stage. It's one of my favorites in the game. I know the Magenta Wisp is kind of, you know, whatever, but I'm not really going to focus on that. I mean, that's kind of a nitpick since it's optional. You don't have to use it. Anyway, I'm going to need 3,000 animals to get to the end of this world, so hopefully I can get those in Zone 3, even though I doubt it, but we'll find out. But that's going to have to wait until next time. And until next time, thank you for watching that LP show, I guess. Have a one that's whatever. I'm gonna go paint my nails while listening to Fall Out Boy.